Bill O'Reilly here, Tuesday, May 5th, 2020. You are listening to the O'Reilly Update. Here's what's happening across our nation. Big supermarket chains begin rationing beef. Miami Beach closes some sand just 5 days after reopening. New Zealand reports 0 new cases of COVID. ESPN to broadcast baseball games from South Korea. The virus causing big changes in how Americans celebrate Mother's Day. Also ahead are some lawyers harming America. But first, where's the beef? Costco announcing plans to limit the amount of meat customers can purchase. The new rules apply to cow products, pork, and poultry as the country's biggest suppliers are affected by the contagion. Members can buy 3 items from Costco's fresh meat department. There is no limit on frozen or canned products. Police in Miami Beach closing a major sand strip just 5 days after reopening it. At least 10,000, mostly tourists, were seen openly defying a mandatory face mask order. Officials blame the shutdown on, quote, serious compliance issues to safety and rudeness towards staff, unquote. The virus has killed 1,400 people throughout Florida. New Zealand, down in the South Pacific, reporting no new cases of the virus in more than 24 hours. The Ministry of Health there confirming 0 transmissions since Monday morning. The country introduced a national shutdown in March, and the island nation of 5 million has just 1,400 confirmed infections, causing 20 fatalities. ESPN unveiling plans to bring baseball back to the USA from Asia. The sports network will air 6 games each week from South Korea's KBO League. Meanwhile, Major League Baseball has been largely silent on when American teams will return to the ballpark. Officials have suggested a shortened season starting in July, with games taking place in Arizona. The contagion threatening to derail Mother's Day, the national shutdown disrupting the country's flower shops, roses, tulips, and other popular varieties quickly selling out online. Recent polls show a majority of Americans with elderly parents will not visit mom this year. In a moment, reopening the country, the lawyers are waiting. Right back. You know me as a news guy, but today I'm a science guy. I've accumulated my share of aches and pains over the years, which started my quest for a natural solution. I found it in Omega XL. The stuff works, and it has 30 years of research to prove it. Omega XL is a powerful natural anti-inflammatory supplement that helps relieve joint and muscle pain. There's nothing like it. Omega XL has health benefits way beyond joint comfort. Here's another reason I take Omega XL. Research shows that it can rebalance inflammation in the body and promote a healthy immune system, vitally important. So, please do 2 things today for yourself. Stay close to your loved ones and order Omega XL, the supplement that can deliver pain relief while improving your overall health. Order now and get a second bottle absolutely free of charge. Please go to omegaxl.com/bill. That's omega, the letters xl.com/bill. Time now for the O'Reilly Update message of the day. Reopening America so extortionist lawyers can sue. Republicans in Congress want legislation limiting lawsuits over COVID. Democrats oppose. First, the facts. Nearly 800 individual lawsuits have already been filed over the virus. 250 legal challenges in New York alone against nursing homes, hospitals, unions, restaurants, on and on and on and on. More than 200 student-led petitions against universities for shutting down and not refunding tuition. Families who have lost loved ones at a senior living residence in Atlanta have accused the facility of failing to protect its residents. A religious man in Washington state sued because he could not hold a weekly Bible study at his home. In California, Customers have gone after a yoga studio and a massage parlor. A ski resort chain based in Denver has been sued. Medical litigation, also a major concern. Every year, healthcare lawsuits cost an estimated $55 billion in America. That's one reason why our medical bills are so high. In Washington, D.C., Senator Mitch McConnell calling for more protections for businesses because of the pandemic. McConnell says, quote, "Our response must not be slowed, weakened, or exploited to set up the biggest trial lawyer bonanza in history." But Democratic Senator Richard Blumenthal disagrees. Quote, "Providing some kind of blanket immunity shield is an idea that's the result of the majority leader's imaginary bogeyman of a flood of lawsuits, a parade of horribles that is a political ploy," unquote. Speaker Nancy Pelosi, quote, "At the time of this challenge, especially now, we have every reason to protect our workers and our patients in all of this, so we would not be inclined to be supporting any immunity from liability," unquote. In short, the Dems want a flood of lawsuits, which will surely happen and will prevent many companies and schools from opening. So why is Ms. Pelosi and Mr. Blumenthal and others doing this? Well, according to Bloomberg, 80% of lawyer lobby donations go to Democrats. 80%. That's nearly $500 million over the past 3 years. $500 million. In the 2012 presidential campaign, Romney got $14 million. Obama got $28 million from the lawyers. The biggest single contributor for the last 2 years is the American Association for Justice. $1.5 million to Democrats, just $40,000 to Republicans. So there you go. Show me the money, Nancy Pelosi. This, of course, is corruption. Yes, there are legitimate litigation because of COVID, but the vast majority of cases will be filed by bloodsuckers working free, taking up to 40% of settlement money. That's a disgrace. I'm Bill O'Reilly, and I approve that message by writing it. For more news analysis, please visit BillO'Reilly.com for honest pandemic coverage. In a moment, something you might not know. Our world has obviously changed when you venture outside. Face masks are everywhere, and the kind of mask that you use matters. We all want a mask that gives great protection, like medical professionals get with their N95 masks. The Boomer Naturals 30-day face mask provides 92.2% antibacterial protection. It's comfortable, easy to breathe in, and to speak with. And the masks come in both adult and children sizes. Not only is the Boomer Naturals mask highly rated, but it is affordable. Less than 30 cents a day. These Boomer Natural masks can be used up to 30 days by hand washing them with soap and water. I recommend you order yours right now at boomernaturals.com. Use code BILL20 at checkout, save 20% every time you shop. Plus, get free shipping on orders over $50. That's code BILL20 at boomernaturals.com. Now, the O'Reilly Update brings you something you might not know. Today is Cinco de Mayo, the annual celebration of Mexico's victory over French forces more than 150 years ago. Contrary to popular belief, it is not Mexico's Independence Day. That's September 16th, a whole different thing. The history of Cinco de Mayo is fascinating, and festivities look pretty different on both sides of the border. In Mexico, it's actually a minor holiday celebrated with parades, traditional food, and a reenactment of the Battle of Puebla. Here's the history. During the 1860s, Mexico was in financial ruin, forced to default on several loans with European governments. It managed to settle with the Brits and the Spanish, but not with France. So 6,000 French troops stormed the shores of Mexico, I guess looking for money. Then President Benito Juarez rounded up 2,000 loyal men to make a stand in the city of Puebla. They beat back the French, and the invaders ultimately withdrew back to Europe. But north of the border, only 1 in 5 Americans actually know the history. In the USA, Cinco de Mayo has become a day to celebrate Mexican heritage, especially food and alcohol. No mention of the French. Sales of nachos, tacos, guacamole, beer, tequila jumped 50% in states like Texas, Arizona, and California. The holiday was first celebrated in the States back in 1863, a show of solidarity with our southern neighbors. By the 1960s, Cinco became more commercialized, taking on corporate sponsorship from beer companies like Budweiser. Today, the holiday generates $700 million in alcohol sales. Bar crawls are typically scheduled in every major American city, but of course not this year. And here's something else you might not know. Mexican Americans make up 11% of the entire U.S. population, almost 40 million folks. Each year across the USA, there are more than 120 official Cinco de Mayo celebrations in 20 states. It is more widely celebrated here than in Mexico. Happy Cinco de Mayo. Back after this. 2 guys, Kyle and Josh, were both losing their hair, which was no surprise to either, since they knew male pattern baldness ran in their families. The way they dealt with their hair loss, however, couldn't have been more different. Kyle put it off, losing more and more hair. Josh went right to Keeps.com to learn how to keep his hair. Keeps offers generic versions of the only 2 FDA-approved hair loss products out there. The genetic versions saved Josh a lot of money, and the consultation was simple. He answered a few questions online and snapped a few pictures of his hair. A doctor then evaluated everything and recommended the right FDA-approved hair loss treatment for Josh. It was shipped discreetly to his door. Keeps lets you save your hair without ever leaving your home. Please go to Keeps, KEEPS.com/Bill to get your first order of Keeps hair loss treatment 50% off. Half off. That's Keeps.com/Bill, Keeps.com/Bill. Thank you for listening to the O'Reilly Update. I am Bill O'Reilly. No spin, just facts, and always looking out for you.